so.
Then the other song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Play your favorite song. It's Mike Matthews and the song called Mike's Daily Podcast. It's episode 2230, 2230 on Easters. I hope you are enjoying it with your friends and hers and his and other gender things that you may use in your biz, in your life, in the world. Okay.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
When I saw her standing there, remember Tiffany? She switched that to
Mike's
when I saw him standing there.
Daily
I thought I'd point out
Podcast.
references to 80s songs.
Yeah!
Because I seem to be doing that. In fact, the last show was called Songs. Yes, the last podcast was called Songs because we were talking about songs from the big chair, songs from the attic, and other great 80s albums that I enjoyed. Your friend Mike Matthews on this Easter, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth here at Cafe Anyway. Well, I have to tell you that I forgot to mention that yesterday's show was on 4/3/2021. So it's basically 4/3/2/1. They called it Countdown Day. And it's not May the 4th be with you yet. That's still about a month away, isn't it? So all you excited Star Wars fans that I don't understand anymore. Because that was so long ago, and that was so for me. The Groman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood with my grandmother. And I had no idea what movie we were seeing. We just went to see it, and she took me, and I was like, what is this? And she got me hooked. I think she slept through it. What a great day that was. Okay, I am going to now tell you about that whole Florida thing. Have you heard about this? Don't you love it when radio guys go, did you hear about this? Okay, thank you. I guess I'm hearing about it now.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Oh, the podcast picture is of this wonderful spot that I was walking on. Now, in the podcast picture, I identified it as the Brandon Trail, but it's actually the Willow View Trail, and it's in Podcastro Valley. And it's actually an interesting effect. I'm in color. The scenery behind me is in black and white, but it's actually a nice green right now. And Basil and I went on this trail once together. Yes. We had a nice walk on that, didn't we, Basil? Years and years ago. See that picture at mikesdailypodcast.com. This picture, though, I took a few days ago. The late, great Basil the Boxer there. Tell your friends. This is the podcast with Basil the Boxer. And he's in the last podcast picture at Half Moon Bay from a fun Good Friday we did a few years back. So, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said today that crews are working to prevent the collapse of a large wastewater pond. It's in the Tampa Bay area. And my voice was actually heard on a Tampa Bay radio station for some commercial for Dennis Prager. Apparently, he loves smoking cigars. That's a habit I did not ever get into, nor will I ever get into it. But I did a commercial for it anyway. Yes. A lot of people in Florida like to smoke cigars, I have found. So this wastewater area, a wastewater pond, and Ron DeSantis, let's see, while evacuating the area to avoid a catastrophic flood, it's the Manatee County. Have you ever seen a manatee? I've seen a manatee up close. I've seen a manatee popped his head up near a kayak that I was on when I was in Florida with my mom once. Oh, beautiful creatures. Manatee County official. Actually, one time I was in the ocean at the beach, and I saw a manatee swimming by not too far away from me. And they don't usually go out into the ocean. They like the waters, the inland waters of Florida. Manatee County officials say the latest models show that a breach at the old phosphate plant reservoir has a potential to gush out 340 million gallons of water in a matter of minutes, risking a 20-foot high wall of water. DeSantis said, what we are looking at now is trying to prevent and respond to, if need be, a real catastrophic flood situation. Authorities have closed off portions of the U.S. Highway 41 and ordered evacuations of 316 homes. Some families were placed in local hotels. Manatee County Sheriff's officials began evacuating about 345 inmates from a local jail about a mile away from the pond, which is 77 acres. Jeez. So, yes, the models show the area could be covered with between 1 foot to 5 feet of water. Officials first announced that they would move people and staff to this. Let's see. Oh, they're talking about this Manatee County Administrator. Now I got lost in the story. Thank you. I'm lost in the weeds. I'm going to get the heck out of here. So that's the latest going on in Florida. Dang. The EPA says too much nitrogen in the wastewater causes algae to grow faster, leading to fish kills. Some algae blooms can also harm humans who come into contact with polluted waters or eat tainted fish. Environmental groups urged the federal government this weekend to step in to halt sending more wastewater to the existing so-called gypsum stacks and halting the creation of more phosphogypsum, which is left behind when phosphate rock is mined to produce fertilizer. We hope the contamination is not as bad as we fear, but we are preparing for significant damage to Tampa Bay and the communities that rely on this precious resource, says Justin Bloom, the founder of the Sarasota-based nonprofit organization Suncoast Waterkeeper. Interesting. Well, that is happening in Florida. And that was what I wanted to tell you today, because another guy who's in Florida, Donald Trump, has expanded his list of woke companies to boycott due to their opposition to Georgia's voting law. He has spoken out again about the companies that oppose Georgia's new voting law. He called for more boycotts, saying don't go back to their products until they relent. Barack Obama, meanwhile, commented he commended the MLB on its decision to move its All-Star game from Atlanta. And he said, Donald Trump said, never submit, never give up. He added that his political opponents, the radical left Democrats, had long used brand boycotts to send messages. Hey! Oh my gosh, we have a special guest joining us here at Cafe Anyway as we go outside a Cafe Anyway somewhere in Podcast Grove, Alleyton. It's lovely lady friend. Hello, lovely lady friend.
Hola. Hola, mi amor.
Hola, mi amor. How do you say Happy Easter in Espanol?
Oh my God, I'm completely blanking out on how to say Easter in Spanish.
I think I can say it in Greek because...
Pascua, no. Pascua? Oh, shoot. Oh no, love. I haven't been practicing my Spanish very much lately.
You haven't? Is that because
No.
you're hanging out with a gringo?
Yes.
Felices Pascuas? Pascuas?
Pascua. I think, yeah, I that's what I remember.
Ah.
Pascua. It's
Felices Pascuas.
Feliz Pascua, I think.
Ah, okay.
It's not coming to me. But how's your Easter's going?
It's great because I'm spending it with you.
Oh, my love. What a treat.
Yes, it's a treat. We ate eggs today.
We didn't hide any eggs.
No.
Any Easter eggs.
But I have one Easter decoration, and it's a purple plastic egg, and I have not put it out anywhere.
Huh.
So I feel like
we need to bring it out.
I know, we have just a few hours left of Easters.
Yes.
And perhaps maybe the listening person here is not even hearing this on Easters. Since this is a podcast and you listen to it whenever you feel like it. There is a Brazilian town home to a huge coronavirus vaccine experiment. Despite Brazil's stalling vaccine rollout, every adult in Sarana has had one dose in a study tracking the real-world impacts of jabs. In England, they say jabs, but it's actually...
Like jabbing with the needle?
Yeah. We call it shots. They call it jabs.
Jabs.
The aim is to track the real-world impact of jabs as scientists work to understand how effective COVID vaccines are at halting transmission. Lovely lady friend,
Yes.
you were showing me some interesting little animal videos.
Yes.
Describe to the audience the video you showed me
Which one?
with the
I have a
With the-
slight obsession.
with the wombat, not to be confused with Tom Wopat, who was on Dukes of Hazzard with John Schneider. I'm old. Please do tell everyone about that video.
Was it the wombat and the kangaroo, the joey?
The Joey. It's a Joey because it's a young kangaroo.
Yeah, they were both orphaned. They were found at different places and brought to this farm or some kind of rescue place, and the people put them in the pen, kind of not knowing what was going to happen. And this baby wombat and Joey became fast friends.
Oh,
Just like all over each other, sucking on each other's ears, sleeping, canoodling, and sleeping in the same pouch together. It's the cutest thing seeing them.
and if you watch this video, there's a woman that's sort of narrating it. I guess she's the person that rescued both these animals, because I guess they were basically just abandoned by their moms, or the moms died in car accidents or something.
Fiery car crash.
Yeah, they were driving and they crashed a car. No, more like they got hit by a car.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't say what happened to the moms. It just said that they were found. They were one was found on a golf course, and another one was found, I don't know where.
But the way she was talking sounded like a Valley girl mixed with an Australian. So it's like, so we found this wombat. It was a little around, and I went to get up now. I can't do it. That's like so hard to do. You can't. It's difficult.
It's very sing-songy.
Yeah.
Sing-songy and kind of like nasally.
What's the thing you were talking? What's the thing you were telling me about the Australians that are stuck outside of Australia?
Oh, well, I don't remember the details of this story too well, so I don't know that I could talk about it too much, but it was something along the lines of how Australian citizens who have been stranded for the last year because of the pandemic, they're trying to sue the Australian government because they're saying that there's this double standard for celebrities who have been flying into Australia like nobody's business for different reasons, and they who actually live there have not been able to go to their own homes for the last year.
Jeez.
Because they've been priced out. And I forget exactly why, something about how Australia has been limiting the kinds of flights that come in and leave the country. Mm-hmm. So what's left are these really crazy expensive flights that only really wealthy people can afford. So it creates this unfair system.
I don't think we're ever going to get to Australia looking at this rate.
Well, yeah.
To visit. Just to see it. I've never been there, so it'd be nice
It seems like a beautiful place.
Get to see wombats, koalas.
Koalas, love.
Kangaroos.
I would love to see a koala in my lifetime.
Yeah.
A real koala bear.
Do we have them at the Oakland Zoo?
I don't know.
I should know that. 5.2 million people die from inactivity every year. What's the solution? They are risking their long-term health, but fixing this problem could help save both people and the planet.
Love, why are you bringing me down? This is morbid. This is sad. Death and dying?
The Netherlands is a great example of facilitating cycling. 2/3 of the adult population across Europe, the European Union, are not meeting minimum guidelines to be healthy.
Yeah, people are not going to ride their bikes here.
You know what they do, though, a lot in the Bay Area, more so than I noticed when I lived down in Southern California. Although there's a lot of bike paths along the beach. I did that with my mom when I was a kid. That area, you ever see the Open to Three's Company?
Yeah.
Ba 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 ba, come and knock on our door, and you see John Ritter like see a woman in really
Short shorts,
and he drives off the bike path into the sand. We used to ride on that bike path all the time. It's forever immortalized in the opening of Three's Company.
Three's Company, love.
So 80% of British children move so little their long-term health is in jeopardy. This is in England where they say jabs instead of shots. So we're getting collectively lazier, love. So we got to force ourselves to be more moving around. Just so I thought I'd bring you down about that. And
habits, yes.
Flight tickets are going up. Ticket prices. That's getting costlier. Okay, here's a healthy idea, love. Skin protection tips. Your doctor was recently telling you about skin protection, wasn't she?
She did. You talked about the poison oak debacle?
Yes, a little bit. Perhaps you could go more in depth.
It was terrible. And all because we wanted to pet Sailor.
The dog, the wonderful Australian Shepherd.
Yeah.
Sailor, who's getting up in years.
Yeah.
Used to play with Basil back in the day, and now Sailor is having issues walking, and he somehow got into poison oak and gave it to us.
Yes.
And and you're allergic to it, so it's nasty.
Oh, it was so bad. Just the discomfort was 24/7, just constant itch.
Oh, we have wonderful poison oak. Everywhere. Oh, by the way, that picture, the podcast picture today, I'm on the Willow View Trail in Podcastro Valley, and be careful if you're walking on any of the trails in Podcastro Valley. Lots of poison oak.
Yeah.
And the leaves are full. They're huge.
And green.
And you go, oh, what a lovely leaf. And you touch it and you get poison oak.
And then you die.
You die. No.
You become really inactive and then you die.
So your doctor told you about skin care and about protecting your skin like in the sun? Did you say that?
Yes, because the medication that she prescribed for the poison oak makes the skin more sensitive. Photosensitive, yes.
What's the stuff she gave you?
Prednisone, just nasty-ish.
Well, next month is National Skin Cancer Awareness Month. Next month is May, love. And a busy time for outdoor activities. Here are some tips from the Skin Cancer Foundation to protect yourself from sun's damaging rays. Apply a sunscreen with UVA or UVB protection, UVA and UVB protection, and a minimum SPF of 30 over your entire body, minimum. I've heard people say, well, if I don't get 30 SPF, then why should I even bother? But like anything is good. Pay close attention to your lips, tips of your ears. I always forget the tips of my ears, and the back of your neck, and hands. That's where I got my poison oak real bad, the back of my hand.
Yes.
Reapply sunscreen every 2 hours or after excessive sweating, and wear a broad-brimmed hat. Gloves, UV protection clothing, and UV blocking sunglasses. I'm not going to wear gloves to the beach. I'm not wearing
gloves, a broad-brimmed hat, sunglasses. I'm just imagining what this looks like.
That's a Bay Area thing, too. It wasn't until the Bay Area that I saw people wearing those stupid safari hats. And they're looking like they're at the beach with safari hats on. I'm like, no.
Is that an REI thing?
Oh, because of REI?
Is that REI? Does REI sell those a lot? It seems like an outdoor kind of staple, just like those fisherman type shirts with the flap in the back.
That's a Florida thing. That I told you, everywhere I went in Florida, I saw that flap in the back thing.
Here too, people wear them. I've seen them.
I'm not a fan of that fashion. The flap or the safari hat.
I blame it on REI.
Australian hat. Yeah. Just, I will wear a baseball hat, even though I can't stand wearing baseball hats, but caps.
They're great. They're practical. They're cheap.
Yeah.
They come in all kinds of colors, fun logos.
But I got to be careful, love, because I got the bald head. And
your beautiful bald head.
And when I'm out in the sun, I mean, when I go to Florida and visit Mom, I put a ton of sunscreen on, and I actually do wear a hat.
Yeah.
But it is, let me just say to you that my dad did not really observe that, and he had some crazy stuff going on, and he had a bald head, so.
Yikes.
Yeah, he was constantly seeing the doctor, the dermatologist, and all that.
Yikes.
He didn't have skin cancer, but like real mild forms of it, apparently. So I should be really careful.
Yes.
And so should the listener. That's why I read that really exciting story. So we talked a little bit about Florida today, a little bit about Easters. I think we could wrap it up. But first, we should say hi to some people outside of Cafe Anyway right now. Let's do that.
Who's here?
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. Hello, lovely lady friend. How are you today?
I'm good. Hey, Chely.
Happy Easter.
Jinx.
I don't know what that means.
You owe me a beer.
Ew, you like beer?
I do.
I don't like beer. I like wine coolers and seltzers.
You should try a beer.
No.
Okay.
I gotta go back inside because there's lots of people in the gift shop trying to buy sunscreen.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
There she goes to sell sunscreen.
What a busy bee.
And eggs.
Lots of eggs.
Colored
Peeps.
Is it okay to say colored eggs?
Good Lord.
What? And here is the... She's laughing so hard she's hitting the mic stand. Eggs that have been dyed.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes.
Painted. My mom would get paint, and we would paint them with paintbrushes.
Aw, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, we'd be painting the eggs.
Yeah, I'd get those little dye kits.
That's neat.
That was always fun to do.
I kept an egg that I had painted for years.
Gross.
Yes. And it was just like powder inside.
Oh, nasty.
Yeah. That's what I found. That's my Easter's memory.
That's great, love.
Look who else is here. Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Hello, lovely lady friend. Here's an Easter bonnet for you.
Oh, thank you. This is beautiful. You know, we were just talking about hats to protect ourselves from the sun.
That's right. I like wearing the safari hat. Mike is an idiot. He's going to get skin cancer like his dad.
Can you get him a bonnet?
Sure, Mike. Would you like a bonnet? Uh-huh. Sure.
Love, we could wear matching bonnets.
My bonnet's going to have a bee in it. Because apparently that's good to have a bee in your bonnet or something. We're going to have matching hats, and people will be jealous.
Yes.
As we walk around the Bay Area, annoying people with our flap shirts. That's right. Well, I guess that pretty much wraps it up. Last podcast, I talked about what a horrible, horrible fisherman I am, an angler. Did you ever fish?
Never. I like to eat fish.
Yes.
Poor things. They
Now-
are tasty.
Now we feel bad for fish
Yeah.
and for the little chickens that we steal their eggs.
It's the cycle of life.
Thank you, Elton John. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. You're welcome.
And you can chime in, and I'm talking not to you, lovely lady friend, but to the person listening. You can chime in at 336MM Daily. That's 3 + 3 = 6 MM, as in Mike Matthews, Daily, as in what this podcast is. And I recently changed the new voice greeting message.
I heard it.
So you need to listen to it. Not you, lovely lady friends, since you've heard it, but to the person listening. So 336MM Daily is the way to do that. And I think the numbers work out to, and it's at the mikesdailypodcast.com if you forget, 336-663-2459.
Always fun to get messages on there.
Yes, we can't wait to hear from you. All right. Thank you. The show's done.
Bye. Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.